Alrighty, so we got an interesting one here. Two big boys. We've got Alexandr Romanov versus Juan Espino. So Espino, he is 40 years old, obviously getting up there in age. Hasn't taken too much damage in his career, honestly. And he is a heavyweight, so heavyweights can get a little bit older. The margin for error is a little bit less at heavyweight. But yeah, he's very experienced in combat. He was 17-0 as an amateur. He's got extensive number of wrestling matches in Canarian wrestling, Senegalese wrestling. He's got a lot of grappling background. And Espino, he is at a good camp. It's at ATT. He's got that 1-inch height advantage. He's got a 5-inch reach advantage. He's got good reach for his height. Alright, so Romanov, he hasn't exactly faced the best competition. Even in the UFC, he's faced poor competition, sorry. Moldovan fighters, I feel like they enter the UFC with quite a padded record, usually. A few examples: Belbitsa, Spivak, the guy with, his name's Nikolai Negramanu or something. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but he's the guy who versus Safarov and got dominated by Safarov. And yeah, I think they're not all bad fighters. Spivak and Spivak's decent. And this guy seems to be okay, Romanov. But I'm just saying they just haven't been tested on the regional scene generally in Moldova. Alright, so we'll break down the strike into these two. Alright, so for Romanov, he is a southpaw. He's very aggressive. He's gets in your face. He looks to push the pressure. But mostly, yeah, he's looking to grapple. He is looking for that blast double. He doesn't check leg kicks, but Juan's not going to throw him. Espino's not going to throw him. He's looking for the grappling as well. He's looking to level change. If he's not shooting for a takedown with his level change, he's going to throw that overhand right. That's basically a stand-up. For Romanov, he has a decent body kick, decent high kick versus orthodox fighters, so that's going to be open here. Alright, so yeah, we'll get into the grappling where it gets interesting, and I think where most of this fight's going to play out. So Romanov, he has a blast double. He really drives through the blast double. Most heavyweights are kind of fat and slow, so he's found great success with that blast double. It's the Curtis Blades blueprint. Pretty much, most heavyweights don't have great wrestling, so a lot of them will get caught by that blast double. He is strong in the body lock. He has a nice body lock throw. He'll go for the suplex at times. Got a nice suplex, and I think his first UFC fight or his second one against that smaller guy. But yeah, Espino, he has good takedowns as well. He will, if an opponent gets too aggressive, he'll go for the single leg pretty much every time. He'll look to finish with an inside leg trip, or he'll look to run the pipe there. If an opponent turns away or gives their back, he'll look to get into the wrestling ride and look for some trips from there. But yeah, on the mat, Espino, he'll look to get in your guard, look to pass to side mount, and then look for the crucifix position. After that, he'll look for ground and pound, or he'll go for like big man submissions, like scarf hold, straight arm lock, Americana, arm triangle, and yeah, this is if he can't obtain the crucifix position, so he'll generally just sit in side control. But yeah, if he's looking for ground and pound, he will likely just sit in half guard, and if he passes to side control, he's looking for submissions. For Romanov, he has very aggressive ground and pound, and he has this choke, the forearm choke, where he just presses his big body onto you, pretty much, puts all his weight onto his forearm, and then, just chokes you. But yeah, he's not going to catch Espino with that type of submission, but it is going to catch, a lot of heavyweights with that submission. But yeah, Romanov, he is definitely submission over position type of guy. On the other hand, Espino is more position control, like he's he looks to control the position first, and then he'll look for his offense. But yeah, Romanov can lose like dominant position by being too overly aggressive on the mat. And then, but, he has that blast double to get him out, to bail him out, really, because a lot of heavyweights just aren't good at defending takedowns. Alright, so how these guys win fights. Alright, so for both these guys, they both have good takedowns. They both have very good wrestling, offensive wrestling. For Espino, he has good submissions on top and good top control. For Romanov, he has good pace, he has good cardio, can push a solid pace, seems to have a solid chin as well, but he is a little raw on the feet. He can get clipped on the entry, but it hasn't burned him too far in his career. So far in his career, sorry. But I think I need to see a little more footage against decent competition, against decent strikers, because I think the way he closes distance and the way he's very aggressive on the feet, I think he's going to get caught sooner or later, especially in the heavyweight division. But yeah, hasn't burned him so far. So yeah, and I don't think Espino is going to be the guy to catch him. Espino will likely oblige him in clinching up and in fighting on the mat. Alright, so path to victory for these two. So for Espino, look to level change, feint the overhand. If you see him sprawling on the takedown, or if you see him, reacting, dropping his hands whenever you level change, then go for the overhand. But yeah, if he gets you down, look for reversals. Look to get up when he gets overly aggressive on top and he starts posturing up, going for huge, those King Kong ground and pound shots that he goes for. Yeah, look to get up or reverse position from there. But also catch a body kick, look to ground him, because he will be throwing those body kicks and those high kicks on the feet. So yeah, look to catch one of those body kicks, take him to the mat. For Romanov, I'd prefer a more controlled approach in this one with the ground and pound and the top control. I think be a little, try to be heavy on top. Don't leave too much space between Espino, because he's got good reversals and he will be able to get up if you give him too much space and you posture up for your ground and pound. If you're going to ground and pound, which I know you're going to eventually, look for half guard and then look to land a ground and pound, just because then he has to re-guard to get back to his feet. So yeah, just relax a little in this one. Alright, so how I see this fight playing out. Alright, so Romanov, he's looked very dominant in his career. He's 13-0, he's looked very dominant in pretty much every fight he's been in. But it's been against very weak competition, in my opinion. Especially in Moldova, as we talked about before. And he's been matched up with probably two of the worst grapplers in the heavyweight division to start his UFC career. Both these guys are pretty similar in how they approach their fights, though. So both want to get you to the ground, both want to keep you there until they finish the fight, until they find a finish. I think Espino's going to take this one with the better jiu-jitsu and the better understanding of the wrestling transitions. And, I think Romanov's had a very cruisy career so far and he hasn't had to face much adversity. And I think Espino's not going to be a guy who's going to run over. I think Espino's going to give him a wrestling lesson in this one. And even if Espino's on bottom, he's still dangerous. And Romanov leaves so much space when he's on top. So I think Espino will be able to find reversals, even submissions on bottom. But yeah, I think Espino wins this one. My prediction is Espino by submission. I favour Espino to win this fight about 57% of the time, or around 43 to 40% on the comeback on Romanov. But yeah, let's have a look at the lines. Alright, so yeah, definitely think the value is on Espino as the dog. I think he wins the fight, honestly. I think he should be favourite. Having a look at the props. Maybe go on a decision. But yeah, I think this fight could definitely go to decision. But yeah, I think just the value is on Espino, and I think if I was to bet anything, it would just be the Espino money line, especially as the underdog. Alright, so yeah, we'll have a look at the next fight.